What's up, you beautiful collectors and Transformer fans? Thanks for tuning in. Once again, it is the one and only Optibotimus coming at you with another video review. And this time, it's a Transformers. We are going to be taking a look at the new Transformers Age of the Primes Commander Class SILVERBOLT. And this is one I was excited about. I'm super thrilled that Hasbro are doing these combiners. You know, we got Devastator going right now. We got Superion. Bruticus is on the way. Lots of fun. And hopefully it continues. I mean, I would love to see the Protectobots. I would absolutely love a new Computron. All of these are super fun and exciting. And they're what a lot of us wanted when we were kids. These are the toys that we wanted to play with when we were a kid. And speaking about kids, I hope you will indulge me before I start this video. I've actually had several people reach out to me recently, and they had asked if I'm going to be doing kind of what PIA has recently done. I was made aware that PIA is essentially retiring from reviews, and I watched his video, and I saw that he said, he's like, I don't know if I want to say retiring, because it's like, something might show up that I might be really excited about and might want to show you. So people have asked me if I'm kind of going to be doing something similar with that. And they asked the question, people told me that, I should retire for a while. But they asked the question, coming from a place of love and respect. So I wanted to address it briefly. Many of you have seen that there have been less reviews coming out lately. There have been a lot of, for the past year or so, a lot of very personal things that have been going on in my life. And I had health issues back in September. Many of you remember that I suffered a heart attack back in during Easter this past year. There was another medical situation, medical emergency that came about that resulted in again a very life-changing kind of situation. And I've still have been trying to adjust with that, getting better. Seeing a lot of people that have had a lot of health issues recently, and JT Mitchell, a good friend of mine, one of the old OGs from even before my time. Tyler, I don't know if you are going to watch this. You probably aren't. But Godspeed, my friend. I hope that everything works out for you. I've watched your updates. I see that, things are progressing for you. And I love you. I appreciate you. We don't talk nearly as much as and it's my fault. I could reach out to you as well. But I truly hope the best for you. And to PIA, to Ben, again, I don't know if you're going to see this. We've definitely had our differences over the years. But regardless of our differences, I have always admired and appreciated and respected what you did and have done for this community of Transformers. There's a lot that people owe to you, and a lot of people. JT Mitchell, good old biker trash wolf, Silverbolt, Diancis, I mean Bolt Matrix. The list goes. Sean Long. The list goes on and on about people that were really there at the very beginning of a lot of YouTube reviews on Transformers. It's massive now. A lot of people are getting very popular as things like cameras. I mean, when I started back in 2007, 2007, I've almost been doing this 20 years, 18 years. this October will be 18 years for me. People they didn't have cell phones back then. Well, they had cell phones, but they didn't have camera phones like iPhones and things like that. Nowadays, everybody has the tools and the ability, and you're seeing a lot of very talented people coming out that are doing reviews now with their editing, their production. There's a lot of people that have really excelled at this. A lot of us, PR, Sean Long, there was a guy named Daniel Banks, shout out to him as well. Myself, we got on the what was I've affectionately referred to it as a stolen Chinese toy reviews, where we would get these figures from overseas before they were ever released, and other people are doing it now as well. Prime versus Prime is very popular. I mean, he's about to surpass me. I mean, he surpasses me in views all the time. This review is not going to get nearly as many as something that he would do. Chefatron, I don't know if I'm saying your name right, but there's a lot of people that do get these figures early nowadays, and I've wanted to keep up, and it's financially it's very difficult. A figure like this is about a $89, $90 figure, would cost $200, $250, $300 to get. Back in the early days of doing toy reviews, I could afford to do that because these videos generated so much revenue that I could spend $300 on a figure like this because I knew that I would make that money back. It was an investment in the channel, an investment in the business aspect of things. I've often wrestled with the idea of just coming out and saying I'm retiring. I'm 46 years old. I've had medical issues. I'm in the process of moving right now. My new job that I've been working at for the past year has gotten things better, but I'm moving into a bigger place. Very excited about it. A lot of good opportunities. So I don't want to say that I'm retiring because I really feel like there's going to be Transformers that are going to come out that I'm going to love, that I'm going to want to showcase and show you guys. And I love doing this. I will continue to do this because I love doing it. My views are nowhere near what they used to be, but I love sharing my passion and love for action figures that I grew up loving, and action figures of characters that I grew up loving. And I don't know if I would ever say that I'm retiring. So to answer your question, no, this is not necessarily Optibotimus is retiring video. This is definitely a video just expressing my gratitude to everybody that I have known in 20 years doing, or almost 20 years of doing this. I can't keep up with the younger guys that are doing it. They're, like I said, they're spending the money. They're making a name for themselves. Be it good or bad, but they I'm a Star Trek fan. There's the OG, there's the original series, there's Spock, there's Kirk, there's McCoy, Scotty, and then there's the next generation, and guys like Prime versus Prime. That's the next generation. And it's always going to be an interesting kind of thing to see how that works out. But thank you guys so much for all the love and support. In terms of my medical stuff, you guys have been very kind and gracious towards me. There's certain aspects of my medical stuff that I mentioned having a heart attack. My most recent medical stuff I have not really discussed or have divulged about that. But it is life-changing, life-altering, and it's been difficult to kind of manage at times, but I'm pulling through. A lot of this is just me kind of, because earlier today at work, somebody that I was made aware of that somebody had passed away, and they were 38 years old and died of a heart attack. And that happened this morning. And it just made me realize that back in September, I had a heart attack. And I'm lucky enough to still be here. And, you know, I mean, I've had other medical stuff. So it's one of those kind of things where my medical issues really bring into sharp focus the reality of life and how fleeting it really is, and how you can be here one moment and not here the next moment. So I just want to say thank you to everybody. Yes, I know that I've been very long-winded for the past 10 minutes. If you have listened all this time, thank you so much. I appreciate you. But to answer the question, yeah, I'm not officially making a retirement video. This is, you know, my reviews and everything have slowed down, but I'm still gonna put out videos because I love doing it. Not a lot of people watch them as much as they used to back in the day, but I still love doing them. I still love playing with the toys and sharing them with you. So if you enjoy watching them, thank you so much. And I love and appreciate all of you, no matter what, even those that hate me. It's you got to be doing something if you get people that hate you. But here is, sorry, I know that was random, but yeah, so here is Silverbolt, and again, this is one that I've been excited about. The aerial bots and Superion are a classic combiner, so very excited. But he is a Commander class figure, and a lot of it is because he comes with the majority of the body, much like Motormaster did. With the Stunticons, he comes with a lot of the parts to make the body and everything. So for all intent and purpose, you can pretty much make Superion right now without having air raid and slingshot. Is that, yeah, air raid and slingshot. The back of the package here, you've got a couple different things. You've got him in his super jet mode, which combines this, which is his battle station thing. You got the regular jet and his robot mode. And then you can take this battle station, which it's a battle station, and then you can transform that to make Super Jet, which just kind of makes it look like an elongated jet, kind of. And then, of course, Superion. I'm trying to think. Obviously, we have Devastator. And then I want to say that the next combiner that we got was Superion and the Stunticons, which it's cool because these are like you have those two going on, which is really kind of fun to have those, and then you can see the combination and everything of them. Although they do have Slingshot forming his right arm, which I feel like in the cartoon he was typically his left arm, but you can swap those back and forth. And then you have Air Raid down here, which they have being his, looks like his left leg, which I feel like that's right. But you can swap these around if you want to. You got an image looking good. Other side here, you have the Primes, the power of the Primes standing around the well of all sparks. So that's it for the packaging. And then there's the image over there. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to this giant ramble. But that's it. Let's get this guy out here now and see how cool he actually is. And here we have Silverbolt open up out of his packaging and in his jet mode. And this is how he comes packaged, so you kind of know what's going on. You do get, like I said, Silverbolt, his mass amount of stuff here. And then you get Silverbolt's blaster, which can combine to create Superion's blaster. You got like a little thing right here, so you got the whole blaster thing. I'll show all that later on. In terms of showing Superion combining, while we have gotten Air Raid and Slingshot, I'm going to hold off on showing everything combined for the purpose of doing like a Superion video. I just, like culminating in that kind of thing. But you do have that. Now, Silverbolt himself, from this angle, looks fantastic. I love the way it looks. I mean, you got these little things hanging down here, which obviously, but every single Silverbolt that we've ever gotten throughout the course of history has always had this. Basically, his body kind of folded up underneath there. The Concorde jet is actually a fairly small jet for the. I mean, it's a big jet, but it's very, very thin for the most part. So getting that to hide is going to be very difficult. I mean, I think it looks great from here. One thing that's interesting is when you combine it with his thing here, it kind of makes it look like he's an elongated version of himself. So it kind of works. Kind of. But you can see that he is this kind of... He's not white. He's not cream color. He's kind of like a very, 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 very light gray color, which I think looks really good. You got all the windows painted along the side, which looks nice. You got the cockpit section right there. Got the Autobot logos on his wings. You got the little tail fin. And then again, you know, I mean, this is just ugly. I mean, there's no doubt about it. You do have Superion's head right underneath there. I do like how they made the landing gear the back of Superion's head, but then also the other part that's kind of neat is that his hip skirts in robot mode make up the back landing gear. You can see the little wheels right there, which that's kind of cool. The other thing that I really like about this guy is Concords had a very interesting... Hello, Mr. Car. Very interesting thing that once they hit like a cruising speed, that could dip down while it's, you know, taking off. You would have that or something like that. I might have that reversed, but I like the fact that it's designed to do that. That's kind of fun. I dig that. So, I mean, there he is. It is what it is, right? There's not really much else that you could say about this guy. You got, like, I mean, you can plainly see these are his legs. These are going to swivel down. There's his chest. You know, you could probably take this and put this in the front, but that's still just going to look weird. At least from like the top section, it kind of looks like thrusters, jet engines kind of thing. It's not bad. I mean, it is what it is. This giant thing. Now this is his legs, his arms, and then the torso. So basically all of Superion, for all intents and purposes, like right here. This is a heavy, chunky bit. I mean, this is solid. But you can take this and do a couple things with it. In this mode, what you can do is take this, fold these out. These literally serve no purpose other than connecting to this guy. And then you're going to take this and you're going to literally, well, here, let's lift the wings. You're just going to plug this in. You're going to take these little red bits and connect them to the gold bits of his thighs. Just plug that in and then push this down. These will tab into place right there. And you're already kind of seeing how insanely big this guy gets. Then you want to take this, split that apart, just like so. Sorry about that. So as I was recording, I record on my phone, and anytime somebody actually calls me, it cuts my video out. And my girlfriend called me and ruined about 10 minutes of me talking to myself. So here we go. So this is basically the jet. Then you're going to take his giant cannon here, kind of open that guy up like that, and then you're going to fold this up where you're going to have this little hole section right here. And you come around here to this post. Oh wait, no, you don't want to open that up. I'm sorry. That's for the weird cannon thing. And you just kind of take that down there and shift this on. There we go. And here you have Silverbolt with his very long mode. And kind of like I said, I mean, it looks like he's just basically stretched out. One thing, it does actually kind of make the underside a little bit better looking, but he kind of looks like an aircraft carrier. I mean, mostly like with the deck and everything like that. I mean, that's really, yeah, it's a thing. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not all that great either. But at least they figured out a way to kind of incorporate it. Now to get to his, we're going to go to his robot mode, and I'm going to transform this guy here as well. So take this, set him off to the side. Now this can also become a mobile base. One thing that is kind of cool is that the original G1 toy, you could kind of make a mobile base out of them. But you're going to take this like that. You're going to lift this up. You got this little section here. Lift this up, get that out of the way, and that will separate. And then this, you literally kind of fold that up like, I think it's like that. Something like that. And then you have to rotate these around so that these little slot openings are going to be on the back section. Then you come around to this guy and you line up. Did I do that right? I never can remember if I do this right because it's such a terrible. Well, don't pull that off, Paul. Like, I mean, this is, I mean, like I said, it is what it is. Oh wait, no, it goes like that, I think, and then take these and spin these around. Oh wait, no, that's in the right spot. Okay, and then at least I think that's in the right spot. Yeah, and then you take these and you got these little slots here that you line this up and you tab that in. Just kind of squeeze that in. It does not sit on there very securely. I mean, it's fairly flimsy. But you're going to put that there. You're going to then take this cannon, open it all the way up, and then you got the little slots here, the little indents that are going to connect right here. So you just plug that in there. And there's his battle platform mode. Again, not really much that you can do. I mean, I guess you can take these and open these if you want to. These guys are going to come in here later on, I guess, if you wanted to have more space to protect the aerial bots. I guess you could do something like that. So I'm going to set these off to the back and have them be guarded by this. As for Silverbolt, we're going to lift this section up like that, kind of separate the wings, just kind of pull that away, just like that. Come around here to the underside. Now you have the head right here. That was very loud. You have the head section right here. Very nice. It actually tabs into the fuselage here, so kind of separate that. Don't pull his head off. I pulled his head off. Put that right back. And then once you lift that up, this will hinge like that. You can then open up the front cockpit section, maybe. Something. Come on. Open. Maybe open. Which way do you fold? I feel like you. There we go. Lift that, tuck that around, put that there. So you're gonna kind of leave that there for yeah. This back section. Well, get that out of the way. This back section here, just you kind of have to wiggle this. Wiggle it just a little bit. Kind of hinge that up. You got a double hinge here, so you kind of get this. Got to get this section here to clear that area, and then there we go. And then you can double hinge that down, just like that. Then you can take this, lift this all the way up, and then keep the head right there. And then this is going to connect to the back section very nicely. Flip it around. Get the wings, pull those away, take this section here, fold that in, do that on this side as well. This one's really stiff on mine. And then the side sections here, you're going to, again, wiggle this, and just be a little bit careful as you're pulling it out, because you can see that part of the arm actually goes into the section here, which is actually really kind of cool. Bring that down, rotate. Fold down the foot, and then you have the heel spur. Now, this heel spur is massive and necessary, because if you just leave it like that, he cannot balance at all, because this is very solid, very heavy back here, and he will completely fall down. Do the same thing on the other side. Pull this out, bring that down, rotate, fold the foot. Oh, well, just bring the whole thing down, I suppose. And then take this bit right here, the chest section. You want to shimmy that, fold that, all the way down. Take Silverbolt's head, fold that forward, and rotate it. Now, well, let's do these arms first. Bring these arms out. You can just do it like that. Just bring the whole panel out. So we can bring this whole section out. Just kind of get that out of the way. Now, Superion's head needs to go around like that and bring that down. Now, the thing is, these little earpieces have to fit into these little square hole sections. It's tricky to do. You have to make sure that the head stays perfectly aligned with those, and then you can slide it back just like that. But you also have to make sure that all this other stuff, like here along the side, that all lines up, and then you can press that in, clip that in up there. Mine doesn't like staying in all that well. You can see it separates very easily there, which is kind of annoying, but it's there. And then just take the arms, the hands, I should specifically say, rotate those out. Do that on this side as well. Maybe. Come on. And there we are. And then kind of just situate them. These wings here, Superion mode, they're going to be all the way back like that. You can't really leave these all the way forward because it's going to interrupt with this arm rotation. But you got another joint there that as you bring it back, you can feel it hits. There's like a ratchet joint right there. So just kind of angle that to that point. And I think that looks good. And there you have Silverbolt in his robot mode. And I really like the way that this guy looks. I think he turned out absolutely fantastic. I mean, the only part that, like I said, is kind of annoying is the tabbing section here, not really locking in properly. I mean, it's in there now. Well, I mean, you give it a little bit of a tug and it'll fall out. But like aesthetically wise, I think he looks pretty good. Yes, he does have a big giant backpack. He always did. That's, you know, it is what it is kind of thing. And then his heels. These are massive. But like I said, if you put these away, there is no way he can stand there. So you have to have these back. I feel like they could have done something where they could have like made it like hinge. I wish I wish they made it where it like hinged here, where you can then rotate it and then maybe put a little bit of it up here along the back, but just give it a little bit of space here to help balance them. But I mean, I'm not a designer. I don't know what I'm talking about. But there's Silverbolt. This guy, though, I think looks great. Like I said, I just don't like that part that separates things. And he is a Commander Class figure, so he is a little bit bigger. These guys are deluxes. I'm knocking down stuff. So you can definitely see that he's bigger than the deluxe figures. Cartoon-wise, he really wasn't much bigger. They were all pretty much the same size. But when it comes to the toys always were slightly bigger, just because he made up the torso and the thighs and things of that nature, whereas these guys made up the arms. Obviously, this is going to have an entire separate section that's going to make up the torso and everything. So he kind of plugs into that and bulks him up a little bit. But I think, like I said, I think he's really cool looking. He is more of this grayish color. I do wish he was a little bit more white. It's not bad or anything, but you can also see like it's the same kind of color as the rest of it, and see that whole piece just like popped off. It's not bad, but he's definitely not as white as the other guys. Articulation wise, the head is on a ball joint, so you get a good range of motion there. The head sculpt is fantastic. Nice silver on his face. You got the blue eyes, which looks really good. It's got an Autobot logo there, which is pretty decent. I like the way that looks. I love how they got these little wings up here as well. Very cartoon accurate. You got the shoulders that move forward and back, in and out. They rotate at the upper part of the thigh. They bend a little bit more than 90 degrees at the elbow. Wrists move forward and back. They don't rotate or anything like that. It's fine. It's not a big deal. He does have waist rotation, very stiff joint there, but that works very nicely. The hips do move forward and back, but you do have to dislodge the hip skirts, which those lock down, but you can move that forward and back and in and out. You can hear the ratchet joint inside there as well. Got the rotation at the upper part of the thigh, the bend at the knee. Of course, you do have ankle tilt, but that locks in, so you do have to kind of disengage that from there, so you can get him to have a wider pose. But for a guy that was terrified of heights, being the leader of a team of airplanes and jets, I always thought he was really kind of fun. I thought that he was kind of humble, kind of quiet, and very unassuming as a leader, especially when you talk about like guys like Slingshot. I mean, they were very boisterous and loud and obnoxious, and Silverbolt really wasn't. So it was a really fun character dynamic between them. But yeah, I'm happy. I think that he looks really very cool. Now, in terms of Superion, I am going to show you Superion. I might as well. Why not? You guys have been sticking around this video for all this time. I might as well show some of it. So if this hasn't detached, you're going to pull this away just like that. Then you're going to take these bits here, kind of lift these up, bring the legs down. Well, I guess you didn't need to lift that up. But you have these sections here. These are the combiner ports right there. You want to rotate that to the back. Thusly, and then take this, lift this, just kind of set that down. This is basically going to be the lower section of his torso, the chest piece, and then the thighs. These guys. Now this is the Motormaster sort of thing, where like this basically becomes the arms and the legs. So you want to split this down the middle, and then this piece. Oh wait, you want to separate this. Pull this away. You can see that they tab in here. You got a square tab. You got a round tab. Literally just plug that in there. So pull that apart, and then do that on this side also. Just kind of wiggle that loose, like so. For the legs, you're going to take this section here, collapse that down, and then fold this piece. Oh wait, yeah, no. Bring this piece up and fold out that combiner section, and then fold down the foot. That'll lock into place. This is his left, so we're going to put that there so I remember. Do that on this side as well. So again, fold this piece in. That will lock into place like so. Take this back section here, fold this out, and fold the combiner port up all the way. Fold this out, lock that down, and now you have the other leg. And again, very much like Motormaster, where you have that section that comes around. And that was accurate to the cartoon, where you saw the bottom section of the aerial bots and the wings and everything were on the back. So that was accurate. This arm section here, are going to fold out the hand, and then this whole bit here. Now, you can do the same thing with this guy that you could do with Motormaster, where you can connect the, well, in this case, Slingshot to the arm, and you will then be able to separate it. I mean, I guess I could kind of show that, but I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'll just do this, but we'll do that there. And then fold out the hand. Fold this out. That'll clip down. This will... So this one's really stiff. Okay, there we go. And this will clip down. So now you have the arms for Superion. You have the legs for Superion. Now we're going to get these guys out the way, and we're going to come to Silverbolt. And basically what you need to do is transform him back into his jet mode. So take these arms, or these hands, fold these in, just like that. Take this torso section, fold this forward, kind of bring that down. Bring out his head. Now, these pieces, his ears sections, I've talked about this, they just peg in. So just be careful that you don't lose it. Rotate the head around. And then, oh, you got to bring these in. That'll clip in. Keep that section out like that. So again, rotate these arms. Kind of just fold it in like so. Get these wings kind of out of the way. All of this is basically going to stay the same. So take this, fold that up, and then rotate this around. You got this hinge here in the thigh that you need to engage to bring up and slot that in. Oh, well, while you have that, you might as well bring the whole head up, or that whole section there. Clip that in now. Make sure you push that all the way in. So again, do that on this side. Fold that there. Fold the foot up. Rotate his thigh. Engage that secondary knee joint. Bring that up and slot that in. Give that a good squeeze like that. Now this part right here does get a little bit tricky in terms of connecting this. What you want to do is kind of like disengage this, get that out of the way. And this is going to lift up a little bit. You're going to have this little hole section that you need to plug this into. So you bring this up, and like I said, it's a little bit tricky to kind of maneuver that in. There we go. And then this will kind of soft tab down right here. The rest of everything is going to be held together by all this other stuff. So when you have it like this, this will shift and that will lock that down, and then bring this back down, put that into place just like that. And then you take this entire chest assembly, fold this up, and this will click in, and you can see what's going on with Silverbolt, their slingshot. What is his name? Superion. My God. We're going to take this arm. This will slide down there. This arm will slide down here, locking that into place just very nicely. And then these combiner ports, again, you just slide that in, locking that into place. Do that here as well. And for all intent and purposes, there you have Superion in his robot mode. And like I said, when I get all the aerial bots, I'll connect all these. So you'll see Slingshot over here. You'll see Air Raid down here. Just a little tease, make you come back and watch the next video for it. You got his gun, which you have this little tab in here, which is not easy to get to. Come on. Come on. Let's see. Where's my little picker outer thing? Well, that's not. Come on. No, that's not doing it. Come on. Come on, sir. Come on, sir. All right. Well, you get the idea. You have his gun, and then you take this, you plug that in there, and he holds his his sniper rifle for the most part. But this is essentially what you have, and obviously, like, I'm going to do a full-on comparison with Menasor here in a bit, but this gives you kind of an idea of how big he's going to get, and he's actually really, really solid. Like, this entire chest section and back piece here, like, securely locks. That is not coming loose. That is extremely well done. Like, the stability on this guy feels better than what I keep wanting to say Motormaster. What's his name? The Stunticons. Motormaster. It is Menasor. Oh my gosh. He definitely feels more sturdy than Menasor, and I'm quite impressed with it. So might as well do the comparison because they are mortal enemies. So here you have Superion, and boom, here's Menasor. And you can see, obviously, there's a bulkiness to him because he's got all of his, like, dudes on him and like that kind of separated. So all these guys kind of bulk him up, obviously. But the sizing, I think, is fantastic. This guy looks outstanding. Let me see. Let me see if I can find another robot to kind of do a comparison with. I'm looking at my thing here, guys. I'm packing stuff. Here's an Optimus Prime. Here's Optimus. So you can see how big Optimus is. Here is, obviously he's a Voyager figure, but here are the deluxe aerial bots. There we go. Looking great. Looking fantastic. I'm super excited about this guy. It's very much like what we have with Menasor, but it's a cleaner, I feel, kind of look to him. I feel like his legs are not as bulky Down here, kinda. I mean, he's got these big giant knee pads and stuff. So, I mean, it is basically the same kind of design. You got the Stunticons hanging out in the back because, again, that was cartoon accurate. That's the way that it's designed. Some people would flop them around and put them towards the front, which you technically can do with this guy. You just won't have knee articulation other than bending forward kind of thing. But I think that these guys look absolutely fantastic together. Super excited about being able to complete all of these, and it's going by fast. I mean, here we have 2 of the aerial bots. Here we have Silverbolt. Basically, we're able to do Superion right now, which is, again, absolutely phenomenal. Articulation-wise, basically the same. You got the head. You do have shoulders that rotate all the way around. Also, in and out, you do have a nice... These are all ratcheted joints, too, which is great. You got a ratchet elbow. You have the rotation there. You have the wrists that rotate, kind of can bend in as well. He does have waist rotation, which is fantastic. You got these little skirts here in the waist, so you can move those legs forward and back, in and out, rotates there at the thigh, bends at the knee, come on down to the ankle, and you got the ankle tilt, not really pointing or anything like that, but I didn't push that all the way in. Get that in there. But, I mean, cleans up nicely, looks great. Even, like, just the skeletal frame of the guy looks really cool. I'm quite happy with them. So there you go, guys. There's my look at the new Transformers Age of the Primes Commander Class Silverbolt, which obviously then translates to you now also get to see Superion. So very cool. Highly recommend this guy. I got mine off of Amazon, which is fantastic because I don't even think he's in stores just yet, but I will put a link down in the video description where you can click on that and go and pick him up because he is well worth the $89. Don't pay the $300 that unless you're doing YouTube reviews like I talked about at the beginning. But there you go, guys. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. I know this video turned out to be a whole lot longer thanks to the 10-minute rant in the beginning. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. And until next time, this is Optibotimus saying, roll out. No, that was a really bad impression. I can't think of what to say. Give me something to say. Bye.